star of the show, hardworking Mr. Dynamite.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Hollywood Sports. That's right guys, we're going to talk about sliders from MLB The Show 17. And before we get started on the slider set guys, I want to tell you that you probably already know MLB The Show 17 guys replicates well. It replicates what you see on TV. Now, and I'm talking about gameplay. I'm talking about sound. I'm talking about they are further away, because there's a line in between realism and video game. There's a line that would never be erased. The line would never be erased, guys, between realism and video game. But I think the gap between realism and video game is a lot closer in MLB The Show. And I think NBA 2K17 is further away than you guys think between realism and video games. NBA 2K plays more like a video game. NBA 2K replicates movement better than anybody, but their gameplay doesn't replicate more than anybody. Their movement and the way the game looks, NBA 2K replicates their movement better than anybody. It just, the gameplay is not realistic than everybody. So let's get that straight. Madden is kind of suffering from both areas, and how the game looks and how the game plays. And you go to FIFA replicates realism. FIFA replicates movement. But in FIFA, the foot planning is not quite there yet. But, and then we get to MLB The Show. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it because I don't want to get on a rant. Let's get into it. And I'll explain myself as I go through the sliders. Now, I want you to know that MLB The Show really doesn't need sliders. You know, a lot of people say they want to play the game right out of the box, right out of the case, right? MLB is one of those games that you can play right out of the gate, guys. No adjustments. Let's see. Let's go and get into these sliders real quick. These are my sliders. Let me load them up for you. All right. Make sure I got them. Okay. Now let's go into my slider set and go to modify because I want to show you what they look like. Now, MLB The Show sliders, guys, I mean, they don't really need sliders. MLB The Show sliders is based on options, guys. You know, people want options. It's like there's a lot of discussion about Madden, about having options. Well, MLB The Show sliders, guys, gives you options. You don't really have sliders to make the gameplay better or anything like that in these sliders. These are about options in MLB The Show sliders. Let me show you what I mean. Like dynamic difficulty sensitivity. Boom, boom. In case you guys were wondering why I do boom, boom in my videos, if you haven't figured it out, it's because I match my voice up to the video. Okay, I match my face cam up to the video. That's how I do it. Okay, dynamic difficulty sensitivity. Again, that's an option thing, guys. How fast do you want to be promoted to difficulty or demoted as far as difficulty? And another thing as far as difficulty, no, let's go back. I wanted to talk about something else. Let's go back to user settings. Let's go to gameplay options. As you can see, guys, I'm on All-Star. We're going to get to the sliders, guys, but I'm trying to make myself clear about this game. It's on All-Star. I was at Advanced. I started at Veteran. I'm sorry. I started at Veteran, but I went to All-Star because Veteran, I was scoring 8-9 games easily. I was getting a lot of base hits, so it wasn't really challenging for me. So I went to All-Star, and if you saw my stream on Tuesday, that's realism gameplay, guys, where you ain't gonna get 1,000 base hits in a game, you know, and 1,000 home runs. You really gotta play strategy and make your right hits. You gotta hit with people in scoring in position. You gotta do it at the right time. But see, I'm getting off on a tangent again. But MLB The Show, again, when you talk about difficulty, translating difficulty, when you adjust the difficulty, it doesn't change the game. The game doesn't cheat you. In NBA 2K, the higher you go in difficulty, the more the game is going to cheat you. And Madden, the higher you go in difficulty, like if you go all Madden, the game is going to cheat you, guys. There's some cheese. All right? I'm not really sure about NHL or FIFA. Even though I play those games, I'm not really that experienced as far as sliders. I haven't really worked with sliders on that game, but to notice the difference. But I'm gonna tell you, MLB The Show, guys, when you increase the difficulty, you don't get cheese. You don't get cheese. You get a tougher challenge. Like, they start you out at a level where the pitchers, they pitch, but they pitch with on a level of they're not hitting the corners as much in rookie. You know, they're not changing up speeds. They're not throwing the different tempo of their pitches at you. Now, if you increase it to difficulty like I did with All-Star, right? Now the pitchers are coming at you at different speeds. They're hitting this outside. They're hitting the inside zone, outside zone. They're hitting inside corners, outside corners, up high, up low. So they're changing the type of difficulty, but they're not cheesing you, is what I'm saying. So I wanted to bring that up, guys. MLB The Show 17 is so, it replicates baseball so well. It doesn't cheese you as you raise the difficulty level. So I just wanted to make that point right there. And as you can see, it's All-Star, guys, and you see all my options right here. See, this game is about options, guys. But let's go ahead and get into the sliders real quick. Let's see. Let me go back. All right, user settings, my sliders. It still should be loaded. Okay, now I want my dynamic difficulty sensitivity. I want it to increase a lot faster, which right now is at a great for me because it hasn't moved, it hasn't went up and down. So I'm at my skill level right now. But if I get any better than All-Star, because sensitivity is based on what level you're on now. I'm on All-Star, right? I increased it. So if I get to the point where I'm playing Hall of Fame baseball, then that sensitivity will go up. All right, it won't give me 20 games before it go up. It'll give me maybe 2 or 3 games, and that sensitivity is going to go up. That's what I like about it. Now, human contact. Now, let me describe it because this is default is this one right here. So I went 2 up for human contact. And the reason why I went up to human contact because I want the game to be in motion. Okay, I want the game to be exciting and you get the hits and doubles and triples. So I increased the human contact just a little to give both sides that excitement, get the game moving and scoring. Because sometimes people say baseball can be a little boring, but I set these sliders so the game can be in motion. Okay, now human power I left at default. Because, you know, you got to go off the player ratings, guys. Player ratings, let their power rating come in. So leave the human default power at default, at least I did. Human timing, I raised it up 1 from default. Because the CPU is always going to have pretty much kind of perfect timing. Not all the time, but CPU will have perfect timing than humans. Because it's been programmed to do that. We have a lot more faults than a program. So I put human timing, just again, make the game more exciting, guys, and so you can make those spectacular plays, those spectacular hits with guys, you know, down the line and stuff like that. I just improved that timing, just 1 click up from default, so you can get just inside the first baseline when that ball's going, when you hit that ball, when you hit too late down the first baseline or too early down the third baseline. Human foul frequency, I left it at default, guys. Again, this is a default game. You can play this game right out of the box. You don't need to change nothing. But these sliders are based on options, guys. Everybody can have their options. If you're a casual baseball player, you can set these settings to a lot lower until you get better. And that's what I like about the dynamic sensitivity difficulty slider. The first one is because the game adjusts. The game senses how you play and adjusts how you play. That's even better to balance it out. Human solid hits. Again, I went 1 up from default. That's default, and I went 1 up. Solid hits, just like human timing. Okay. Human starter stamina. Let their stats, their ratings come into play. You don't need to change it. Why change their stamina? Unless you just want to have an advantage, right? If you just want to cheese the game. So I left it at default. Human reliever stamina. The pitcher, the reliever's stamina, default. Human pitcher control. Let their ratings come in, guys. You don't need to change that. Human pitcher consistency. They have a consistency rating already. You don't need to change it. Leave it at default. Now again, unless you want their consistency to be a lot less, you can put it less. Or you want their consistency to be a lot harder, put it higher. Okay. CPU contact. I put at 1 above, right there, 1 above, 1 above the default. I can't think, guys, but even though I got human contact 2 steps above default, okay, because we're not as perfect, guys. We're not perfect. CPU power, leave it at default. Timing, CPU time. Again, I want the game to be exciting for the CPU to make good exciting hits, exciting triples and doubles. So I put theirs 1 up from default on timing for the CPU. CPU foul frequency. You know, everybody's going to have their own opinion, but and to me, guys, it brings more excitement to the game. CPU foul frequency. I left it default. And I asked Millennium one time on Twitter. I asked him, do he think there's too many fouls in the game? And he did his research. He had that concern too, but he said it averages out to what happens in the real major leagues, guys. The amount of fouls that happens in this game. So I left it at default. CPU solid hits. Again, it's 1 above default. You want solid hits. CPU stamina, leave it at default. Stamina, reliever stamina, leave it at default. Control, pitcher control, they already have their rating, leave it at default. Pitcher consistency, leave it at default, guys. They already have a rating for this stuff. Strike frequency, how they throw strikes. You know, they have that rating in the game already on their player ratings. Can CPU manager hook, I left it at default. But you know what I'm gonna do? I just thought about something. I'm gonna raise this up because let's say you argue a point and the CPU can get thrown out. I think that's what manager hook is. Let's see. Adjust the threshold for CPU manager to pull pitchers out. Oh, I see. To pull pitchers off the mound. Gotcha. Shift to the right to pull pitchers sooner. Oh, I got it. Okay, I'm glad I read that. So I'm going to leave it at default, guys, because every manager, I'm pretty sure, has their own temperament on how they want to do things. So we'll leave it at default. CPU pickoffs. Again, this game is about options, guys. It really doesn't affect gameplay. CPU pickoffs, I raised it up 1 from default because, you know, a lot of guys try to steal. When you get those guys with those high speed ratings on first base, they're going to take off, guys. And sometimes you can get that pitcher and have some CPU quick pickoffs. And I don't think there's enough pickoffs in the game, so I raised it up 1. Fast pitch speed, leave it alone. Off pitch speed, I know I'm talking about simulation, guys, but if you want to make it harder, really hard, and test your, you know, you want to test how really good you are, you can raise them up, I guess, but just put the game on Hall of Fame, you know. Fielding error, infield. Now let's say you play Hall of Fame and you say, man, even Hall of Fame, I'm just that good. Then you can probably increase these certain things, you know. Fielding errors for the infield, again, they have their own rating. Same thing, errors for the outfield, they have their rating. Throwing errors, they have their rating. All these are defaults, guys, because they have their ratings already. Base runner speed. Why would you change the speed when every player has their own speed? Unless you, again, you just, let's say you put it on Hall of Fame and these guys, see, but these difficulties doesn't change the way the game played. The game doesn't cheese you. Now, if you want to raise these up, yeah, the game will cheese you. If you want to put base runner speed, you're gonna throw nobody out. Base runner steal ability. Hey, it's in the ratings, guys. It's in the ratings. Base runner steal frequency, I put up 2 from default. Because again, I want the game to be in motion. I want guys to try to steal, you know. You can really test your catcher out on how well he throws people out. So I want to put the game in motion. So I put base runner steal frequency up. Okay, again, it's about options, guys, but I like the excitement. I want to put the game in motion. Again, the win, all that stuff is default, guys. Injury frequency, default. Trade frequency. Now, if you want to see more trades in the game, you can put that up. I think that's a little more exciting. You know what? Let's put that up one, so you get more trade offers. Kind of gets you more involved. What do you call it? Okay, guys. Now trade frequency again. Boom, boom. Trade frequency. I think it's cool. So I would put it one up from default, just to get more trades, more immersion. You know, that's what the word I was looking at. More immersion. Get into more trading. I don't think the game gives you a lot more trade offers and stuff like that. So yeah, I like that. Let's put that up. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, these sliders aren't meant to make the game easier or harder. It's already in there when you put it on your level of difficulty. These sliders are more about options, and I just gave you the reason why I got mine on certain options. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you like them. But I just wanted to put something out so people will know what I'm doing. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, guys, you know what? Let's I gotta make sure that I save these. Okay, yeah. Always apply modification to my sliders now. Okay. Alright, save these settings. Okay. Alright, sliders. Don't forget to do this, guys. Don't forget to do this. Make sure you save what you do if you make changes. Yes. Alright, we are in. We are in, guys. So next time I play this game, I'm going to have those sliders up. But I'm not really sure, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Do you always have to see? Let me show you something. If I get out of sliders and I go back in, and I go to my sliders and I put modify. Oh, okay. At first they weren't. I had to always load them to go back in. But if I turn the game off, I wasn't sure if they automatically load. So you probably want to load them before you start your game. I figured that out because sometimes I go in my sliders, they're back at default. So I think you have to load them. I'm not really sure. You can let me know in the comment section, guys. But I hope you appreciate the video, guys. And I just love this game. So I hope you love it the way I do, guys. But there's a lot of stuff in this game. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you appreciate it. Hey guys, get ready for my next video. Thanks for watching.